disrupt the way you think and bring it to the top.
And that's why you are. I was going to say, like, can you talk a little bit about Catalyst? And you kind of alluded a little bit to it, but how did you get to be a catalyst?
Yeah, it's really a great question because, when I was, discovering my own word and, through the people I spoke to. And one of the things that's really important is a catalyst is an agent that provokes or speeds significant action or change without itself being affected. So essentially, the catalyst leaves, and then what they basically blew up is different. And that's exactly what I did in my career. I'd bring people together, we would innovate, we would come up with a really good idea, we would disrupt the way that we're doing it today. I would walk away and we'd have this brand new idea. And
okay, so one of the most favorite stories that I've heard, listeners that I've heard Rich talk about, is his stories of the Planters peanut.
Yeah,
story,
yeah.
How you disrupted that.
Well, a $100 million idea was born overnight in my office with a team because we literally took the word nutrition and we put a dot in the middle of the T and the R, and we got nutrition, and we built $100 million business because of that change. And that's the reason why Catalyst is so important to me, because we brought the team together, we blew up, we talked, and all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, look at that. You put a dot there. And so what's important is that's an important piece because, you could say I'm a change agent. You could say all that. But at the end of the day, what people play back to me is that you take a complex idea like personal branding and you simplify it in such an easy way to get me to one word. And that's what a catalyst does. And that's why when I work with people, I'm going to beat you up. We're going to disrupt the way you think, but you're going to walk away knowing who you are and the confidence that you get when you can literally look at somebody and say, at my core, I'm a catalyst because I drive momentum. And let me tell you why. You will change the game in that interview. And that resume will go right to the top.
So we're going to have to go on the road together, because between the two of us, we will kill it. We actually did a talk together in the fall. It was amazing.
That's right. Stockton. Woo!
Okay, woo! Go Stockton. Shout out to Isabella.
Yeah, shout out to the Tri-Delts.
Tri-Delta. Richard, I want to know, and I think our listeners want to know, how does the process work? Like, how do you work? I know you said you figured it out when you worked with Zach.
Yeah.
What does it look like today? Like, how can they do this? Everyone's going to want to know, what's my word? What's my word?
Yeah. So one of the things at my very first talk 2 years ago, I literally left and told my wife, I told Sharon, I'll probably be home in like an hour and I'll be back to, corporate, and I'll be looking for a job. Because I really had no idea. Remember, it's a kitchen table discussion. I was like, oh my God, this could work. So I went to do my first talk and people came up to me after and they said, can you help me get to my one word? And I'm like, no, it's in my head. I don't have anything. And so I came home that weekend and I called my team that I was working with, and they literally gave me an 8-week deadline. And I went into a room for 8 weeks and I reached out to like 50 to 100 people at this conference that I spoke at that weekend. And I had them help me put together a program. And basically I designed a workbook that is the 9 questions that I think are the most critical to help somebody get to their one word. And then there's a series of worksheets right after you fill out the questions where you're going to circle words, you're going to group words, you're going to label them. And voila, you come up with this beautiful sentence about yourself, beginning with the words, I am. And then we work together and I help you, based on that sentence, discover what you think is the one word that encapsulates who you are and the core value that you give to the world. And as crazy as it sounds, it works.
Okay, so give us an example. Thank you for taking us through that, because I know it's iterated. It's gone through iterations. Like you had the minimum viable product first, and now
That's right.
You've really perfected it because you've done it with like 1 million people already in the United States, and pretty soon you're going to be going global. But I just want to say I knew you when.
Yeah. Hello.
I knew that guy back
in the yellow dress.
So give us a real live example.
Yes.
Besides Zach, I know Zach is. I think you should be unbelievably proud.
No.
Since you've gotten to these levels now of perfection.
Yeah. No. So shout out to a girl named Deb Olatunji. She's a Delaware girl. She was a senior in high school. She reached out to me through a friend, and she said, "I really need you to help me. I want to discover my one word and build my college essay." She sent me her first draft, and
So wait, how did she find out about it? Did she hear it through
she
word
had,
of mouth?
yeah, somebody that I had worked with said to her that, you should really call this guy. She calls me. She shares her first draft of her essay. Admittedly, wasn't great. She said that. So long story short, she goes through my program. She's an igniter, and she tells me this story of a test that she failed. And that test, she was so upset about that test being a failed exam that she literally wrote a book called Unleashing Your Innovative Genius: How High School Redesigned. And I said to her,
Oh my God.
I literally helped her understand that her essay, so basically you ignited this movement in education, and you need to write your essay from failure to fortitude. And literally working with her, I said, that is your essay. You had this moment, you failed the test, and at the end of your essay, you're going to say you took failure and converted it to fortitude and ignited this movement by writing this book. She goes, okay, we work together. She puts together a beautiful essay, and sure enough, she gets into University of Pennsylvania, and she's going to be a freshman there next fall. She just wrote a TEDx talk. Her book is doing great, and the reason that I bring her up is because she was always an igniter. She didn't know how to articulate it, and then all of a sudden, she's on fire now. And I mentor her. We talk all the time. I'm proud of her because everything she's already doing has always been about igniting change, igniting momentum. She just didn't know how to put it out into a story, a la her college personal statement, where she demonstrated to Penn that I'm going to come to campus and I am going to ignite the world on your campus. And they said, great, we'd love to have you. And she demonstrated that through her book and this story, because you got to tell your story from failure to fortitude.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, she's great.
That is amazing. And congratulations to you for doing this unbelievable selfless work, because this is truly selfless. And I mean, I really think that's what the world's made of, is when we give it back and pay it forward. That's what we're here for. The circle of life, baby.
That's right. You bet. You know that better than anyone.
Oh, we're trying over here. We're just trying to, we aspire to be you, the catalyst.
Yeah, Supergirl's second alpha love. I love it.
Okay, we have to wrap up.
Okay.
I know we could talk about this all night. And my word, by the way, is bold.
Bold.
I did the program.
You bet.
But what is, I ask every guest one piece of advice.
Yep.
Maybe it's one word. I don't know. But for all our young women on the rise.
No, I have one really clear piece of advice that if I knew this at their age, life would have been a lot easier. Here it is. Be the guide, never the hero of your story. Personal branding is not about I, me, me, I. It is not about putting up selfies, and it's not about boasting about how great you are. It's about literally, this is the game changer. It's about you have a core value that you give to the world, and as the guide, you're going to give it to the people that need it most, the heroes. And so in the college admissions example, the admissions committee is the hero, the student, the student applying is the guide. You guide through signals why you are the best person that they should pick. They're the hero, you're the guide. So you guide your ignite message, your igniter core value, and all of a sudden you're accepted. So I would say to people, if you want to build a really effective personal brand, or even a brand out there, if you're a young entrepreneur, be the guide, never the hero. The guide helps people win. It's about servant leadership. That's how brands are built.
Oh, I feel a book coming on. But for now, we have to wrap up. Thank you. That is epic advice.
Yeah.
We have so much work to do, you and I.
Yes.
But for now, listeners, I want to thank, I call him the Candy Man because he works at all these unbelievable brands. But the Rich Keller, thank you so much, the guru, the catalyst for being on the show.
Thank you. One more thing. My podcast launches this summer, The Catalyst Effect. Stay tuned. And you're going to be on, Jeannie.
I will share it with all the listeners. I can't wait. Yes. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
TheRichKeller.com.
I love you. Love you.
Listeners, Be the guide, not the hero. Slay those dragons. Peace and love. Bye-bye.